Dun 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 dun. Yeah. GP2, GPR GP2, Mexico, round 11. Round 11 out of 14. Is that right? I suppose 14, yeah. 14. The last race before the 1 week break. The Mexican track Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez has 17 corners. Best racing places are turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13. That's pretty much it. 3 DRS zones on the start, finish main straight, then on the back straight, and then on the smaller straight. The back straight, I mean, after turn 3 going to turn 4, and the smaller straight after turn 11 going to turn 12. Drivers going out on their out laps. We'll just talk about the track quickly. First Grand Prix hosted in 1963 in a completely different layout, but it is the layout how it is nowadays. Circle length 4.304 kilometers. Number of laps 36. Lap record is 117.774 set by Valtteri Bottas in 2021. 2 DRS detection zones. The track is located in Mexico. That's why it's called the Mexican GP. Someone already has started their flying laps. That's Alost. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but Alost. I'll just call him Alost. Going to turn 1, into turn 2, turn 3, not the best corners. You want to hook those curbs more, but I'm not expecting wonders in GP2. 29.070. Senna's don't even see. That's a spun Alpine. Behind him, that was Saro. Alois going through the S section. Very difficult to master as it goes very wide in turn 10. Turn a little bit better. Here is open, and second sector it is going to be a 58.643. Going into the stadium section, turn 12, and into turn 13. Turn 14, 15, 16, actually 17. That's one can corner, and Alois crosses the line, and it's going to be a 118.588. His teammate comes from behind, but he has invalidated his lap time, possibly through the S section. Panda has retired, but he's from GP1 and he's supposed to start from the back. Batman has damaged his front wing, but he's on 12 laps of fuel. That's quite odd, but it is what it is. Trippy starting his flying lap. Solly starting his flying lap. New Berlin crossing the line to just in a new fast lap, a 1:17.535. Just over a second faster than Alost. Is there anyone else crossing the line? No, that's Jakub through the stadium section. Who's on the flying laps? There's Saro, 28.753, first sector, but he spins on the exit of turn 9. A bit of a weird spot to lose the car. I mean, I guess just too much rotation going on at the back, and just the reel just went loose and lost it completely. But that's his lap went. Behind him there's Trippy on his flying lap, 57.579 through the second sector. Now through the third sector, the stadium section, turn 14, 15, 16, and then 17. A very difficult corner to get it right, especially without traction. And Trippy crosses the line. He goes provisional pole position, 117.358. But Solly crosses the line and he goes provisional pole position, 116.975. Behind him, no, there's Niklas, but he stays out. I thought that he was going to go into the pits, and he goes P2, 400ths ahead of Trippy, 117.318. His teammate Kostya on the mediums on an out lap. Jakub is on a flying lap, 57.311, second sector, and crosses the line. He is going to go provisional pole position, 116.627, over 3.5 tenths faster than Solly. Well, not so over, look, 3.5 tenths faster than Solly. Actually, like almost tip top. Sorrow, he's improving on his time. But is he gonna stay out? Yeah, he's gonna finish the lap, and Sorry goes through to P6, 117.698. That's a little over 1.5 tenths slower than Berlin. Solly on the in lap, who is there on the flying laps? Kostya is on the flying laps, 28.845 through the first sector. Second sector, 57.873. So at the moment he would be behind Jacob, behind Solly, maybe behind his teammate Niklas, but we'll see where he's gonna put his car onto the spots. And crosses the line. He is gonna go P7, 117.762. So 4 tenths slower than Niklas. Batfan starts his flying lap with 13 laps of fuel. That's Senna crossing the line, and I guess he invalidated his lap. Jamie is gonna start his flying lap shortly. Sarah is on basically no fuel. Actually, he has a little bit to get back into the pits. Alos is gonna be starting his flying lap shortly. Bobcat as well, starting his third sector. On Massmat the same. Atom Pro 28.924 first sector. Jamie's first sector. He has invalidated yet again. Jamie's first sector is going to be a 28.604, so apparently fastest first sector through turn 5 and into turn 6, and now into the S's, the most feared section on this track. Turn 7, turn 8, so you wanna hook that curb, turn 9, and then into turn 10, little lift, or it depends, turn 11, there's open, second sector, a 57.400. I don't think he will be behind Jakub, sorry. Jamie goes wide on the exit of turn 12, to turn 14, 15, 16, and then 17. Batfan went 8 to 118.586. Jamie is going to cross the line. He goes P3, 117.031. So actually, not as best of a lap from Jamie. That's what I would know from him. Alonso improves on his time a lot, and he's lost himself between Berlin and Sorrow. 117.544, 9 thousandths behind Berlin. By the way, no. Okay, someone has improved. Was it Alonso, I think, that's improved his lap, because it was previously Batman and Alonso, they were like 2 thousandths between each other. Well, that was some nice swimming from Niklas. Although Batman is not even on a flying lap, he is just doing some runs, I guess. But Niklas is preparing for his flying lap. On my smart is on a no. Here's Jamie behind him. It could be Jakob. No, he's no. Could be on a flying not flying up. A overlap. Berlin has improved through the second sector to 2.5 tenths. Now through the final corner, does he find any more time on his lap? And he did find some more time, and he slows himself in P4, 117.235. That's 2 tenths slower than Jamie, but still P4 is a very good. It's a very good position for the start. Trippy improves in his second sector, and he goes P2, 116.798. So between Solly and Jakob, but that's still over 1.5 tenths down on Jakob. But Solly goes now into P2, 116.686, and now he's less than 600ths down on Jakob. Jakob is improving on his time, but he pushed too much on his lap. He was improving by 3 tenths through the second sector, but he just goes a bit too wide on the exit of turn 11, and that's his lap invalidated. Unfortunately, it would have been a great lap, but like Max Verstappen's lap would have been great. He never finished it in Saudi Arabia in 2021. One simple mistake in the final corner destroyed the whole, probably one of the best laps in F1's history. Probably. Costa, I doubt, although he could be on a flying lap. Second sector has improved by almost 8 tenths. Almost 8 tenths faster on his lap. Could he slot himself? If he finds even more time, he could go ahead of Jakob provisionally through the final corner and crosses the line. He is going to go P4, 116.820. He did find some more time, but not enough to go ahead of Jakob, and he is 2 tenths down on Jakob. Almost improving his time to 117.911. There was some temporary yellow flags as Senna has spun on his lap again. He's having massive troubles to even set a to even set a lap. He seriously dislikes this track, I guess, or could be I guess a skill issue as well. But I mean, Senna, I mean, how many laps has he done actually? Like, I feel like he's done like 7 laps, and he still can't set at least like a 120. Who's on a flying laps? I guess nobody is on a flying laps, because Fattenborough is on an out lap, Sarah is on an out lap, On Masmat is on an in lap, Jamie is on an out lap, so I guess nobody's on a flying lap. So I mean, now Sorrow is gonna exit the final corner, and he's gonna start his flying lap. So since there's literally no one else to look at, I mean there's Jamie, but they will look at Sorrow now. Going to turn 1, 235 kilometers an hour, braking to turn 1 heavily. Want to hook up these curves as much as possible. and take the outside curve as well. 3 is open. First sector, has he improved? Yes, by 1.5 tenths. Turn 5 and then turn, no, actually to turn 4 and 5, then into turn 6. It's done pretty nicely. And now into the S's turn 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. In the S section it is very easy to invalidate. 3 over 3/10 of improvements, so I'm going to slot him into like P8, 15, 16, and then turn 17, and he is gonna cross the line, and he is gonna go P6, 117.050 from the Alpine. A very good lap time from Zaro. Jamie meanwhile is improving, and he goes provisional pole position, 116.492 from Jamie. And this is a bit of a threat to Jacob now, because he has to finish that lap what he couldn't finish, if that makes any sense. Battenborough is on a flying lap. Is there anyone on a flying laps besides Batfan? I don't. No, everyone is either on the out laps or in laps, because Sarah and Jamie are on their in laps. Senna maybe? No, he's on his out lap. Batfan's first sector, 2.5 tenths down. I mean, he has no years left, and he's 2 laps on those tires, and he's using massive amount of fuel. I mean, don't know. Who is the... Oh, bit of an interesting line from Jamie. Caught. Oh, bit of a miscommunication from Jamie and Kostya, and this could cost Kostya. Yeah, it could cost Kostya some time on this run, because this I can't speak. All right, I can't speak. On the exit of turn 17, it is a very important run, so that I can't speak. All right, I can't speak at the moment. Kostya almost a 10 down just because of that simple mistake. I don't know if you want to call it even that. Nicholas is going to start his flying lap. Alost has invalidated on his flying lap. Soli meanwhile is going to be starting his flying lap. Senna has spun in the S section. Who the hell is in the flying laps here? On my spot letting through drivers. Saro isn't on the flying lap, that's what I know. Soli is here. Bobcat is going to be starting his flying lap. I have no idea who is finishing, who is starting. Kostya, I know that he is going to be finishing. And he is going to cross the line, and he improves, but just only slightly, 200s. And he stays in P5, 2 thousandths behind Trippy. Trippy did improve either way. Bolin just managed to start another one if he wanted to. Jakub has improved through the second sector a lot. Third sector crosses line, and he goes provisional pole position, 116.216. So that's over 2.5 tenths up. There is Niklas next, not improving his time. Behind him there is Soli. How is Soli doing? Was improving, but he invalidated it. He invalidated, and it would be P3 for Soli if he would have been able to complete it. Saro on the in lap. Kostya probably as well on the in lap. Then there's Onma Samad who is blocking a little bit Popcat, but he can't really do anything. Almost didn't improve Popcat. Improved to P6, 117 dead. Then there's Berlin, the last one to if he can improve. No, he can't. So it is Jakub on the pole position for the Mexican Grand Prix here in Mexico City. New Mexico is a state in the US. Mexico City is the capital of Mexico. So Jacob takes the pole position here in Mexico City, in a track where it's the highest placed track on the F1 calendar, above 2,000 meters above sea level. Jamie finishes in P2, Solly in P3, could have been P2, but messed up that final lap. Nothing that you can actually do about that. You have to just deal with it. Trippi in P4, Kostya in P5, Popcat P6, Saro P7, Berlin P8, Niklas P9, Alois P10, Onmasmat P11, Batvan in 12th, Panda 13th, Senna P14. Panda isn't actually last. He was meant to start in last, but Senna just didn't allow him to start last because Senna, I guess, didn't want to finish the lap. So I guess Panda is gonna get no, maybe not banned, but I mean he's anyways gonna. Okay, very interesting rule. Right, so what? What? Okay, that's a very weird rule change for GPR. It is raining, but it looks like that it's gonna be for the inters. It's not raining hard enough, and there isn't any puddles on the pits. Just check the driver's standings. Yet that it's gonna be formation lap, and it's gonna be for the inters. It's gonna be for the inters. Everyone on the inters. You already have them warmed up to those tires, so you only need to keep up them warmed up. In the driver's standings, it looks rather interesting still, as there is a still with after this round 3 rounds to go. Solly is leading the championship, 119 points. Sven, who isn't today in Mexico or in this race, 109 points. Kostya P3, 96 points. Alfie, who as well isn't here, 85 points. Sauce or William, who as well isn't here, 60 points. Thomas 58, Liam 55, me 44 still. Niklas 33, Senna 32, Trippi 23, Xavi 27, Saro 27, Panda 26, Abo 26, Noise 25, Oisin 25. I mean, there are a lot of drivers here that have scored points, but mainly we're gonna focus on the top. After this round, I would say top 3. Alfie is gonna lose a lot of points. I mean, Sven is in racing, Kostya P5 and Solly P3, so they gain fair amount of points. With 3 rounds to go, it looks very unlikely for Alfie to fight for the championship. Quickly with the constructors, Mercedes are comfortably leading in at the top with 249 points. AlphaTauri P2, 174, McLaren 165, Red Bull 137, Aston Martin 83, Alpine 74, Williams 62, Ferrari 58, Haas 53, and Alfa Romeo 29 drivers are already lined up on the grids, and it's gonna be 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and lights are out. And away we go here in Mexico. Jacob getting a fairly good start, as well as Jamie. Kostya is falling down places a little bit, as well as Solid. There's a car on the grass at the back. It looks fairly clean at the moment. They're going forward into turn 1. There's been contact between Berlin and Kostya. What's happening at the back? There are 3 cars on the exit off track. There's been even more contact between Batfans, Senna and Allows up front. Jamie and Trippy fighting for P2. Trippy getting a very good attack now on Jamie going through the second sector, and it looks like he gets the P2 in this race. Trippy starting from P4 already up into P2. Jacob already has 3 second time penalties. That was fast. I mean, I'm expecting him to get those off, but you never know. Maybe he just had a massive skill issue on the first lap, just not keeping the car on the track. Jamie and Solid are now fighting for P3. Jamie just doesn't seem to be confident on this wet track. Niklas is as well trying to attack Jamie, and now Solly contact, massive amount of contact, and it makes Solly out of the race. The championship leader is out of the race because of contact between Niklas and himself, and Solly is out of the race. And it's a virtual safety car. If I saw that right, Niklas just turned in on Solly, and Solly was a sitting duck and couldn't really do anything after that. If that was that Niklas turned in on Solid, then it's going to be a huge penalty for Niklas and a few fair of penalty points, but you can't change it. Even though how much does Niklas deserve the penalty, you can't reverse the fact that Solly is out of the race. Solly is gonna be fuming because there were 3 points to gain on Sven on the table, and possibly as well on Kostya. Because I mean, Kostya as well in qualifying only P5, and before Solly's crash he was 6th, so not a very good start from Kostya. But I mean, now his teammate Niklas has just done for Kostya a brilliant thing. The safety car, the VSC has been turned off, and Kostya is now ahead of Jamie. So Jamie as well having, like I said at the beginning, having troubles to keep the car out there on track. Panda rating P6. There are little fights at the back. Sarn Berlin is trading places, and as well Batfan and Popcat. 2 different animals, cat and a bat, and it's a cat on the top. And now Senna is at the back of Batfan. Let's see how quickly Senna is gonna get him, if he's gonna get him. Berlin stays in P11. Adam Zoro and Alost, who is the large driver, on the grid, as he has a massive moment in the turn 9 and now loses a second to Sorrow. Yeah, these conditions are very difficult to keep the car out there on track. Popcat overtakes on Matt going into the stadium section. Batman is as well trying to overtake him here in turn 17, but on Matt gets a better exit. Panda meanwhile overtakes Jamie on the straight. Jamie just has no pace. especially on the straight. But Batfan is getting now attacked from Senna on the inside of turn 1. On Massmat goes a bit wide. Now they're going 3 wide into turn 2. Now 2 wide into turn 3. But ahead of them, on Massmat just half spins. And now he's gonna be lost. He's now second to last, but it's gonna be dependent if Alos is gonna fight this. He's gonna put a little bit of fight, but not a huge one. So Alos is still the last driver on the grid. But on Massmat, just a simple mistake, but costing many positions. And Senna is ahead of Batfan. So that's 2 places at once for Senna. Panda is good. I'm gonna be saying already now, Panda is gonna be getting disqualified from this race. I don't know about Jakub or Jamie. I'm expecting Jamie to get disqualified as well, but I don't know about Jakub. Panda getting the new false lap. Batfan has re-overtaken Senna. Senna made a massive mistake in turn 17, and now he's getting attacked from Berlin on the straight, on the start finish straight. There's obviously no DRS, but Berlin just gets a very nice run, and now he's into 9th place. Popcat gets a 3-second time penalty on lap 5. Why does it feel like that is lap 9? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Jakub and Trippy having not a battle because they haven't been close enough to fight really each other, but they have some decent pace at the moment. They have a bigger gap to now Niklas, and Niklas has as well a bit of a gap to his teammate Kostya. Batman getting a 3-second time penalty. Everyone knows on the grid, or most know, that Panda is going to get disqualified. So if Panda is going to be trying to overtake them, there's no point fighting. Trippy getting the false lap, but it's going to be immediately taken from Panda. No, Panda didn't get that false lap. Sometimes it's interesting to look at the driver's fuel, because some went for the Jakub went for the plus. Trippy went a little bit on the minus. Niklas went a little bit on the plus. Kostya went a hell lot of on the minus. 1.6 now. Alos and Masmat are fighting for P12, basically for the last positions. And there's a still very good fight until now, as they make even more contact. They made even more contact. Masmat spun. Alos couldn't really go anywhere after Masmat spun. Could be some damage for either one of them. Possibly for Masmat to, I don't know, maybe some re-wing damage, diffuse damage. I don't know, somehow floor damage. But it's now Alos out of Masmat. Senna is quite close to Sorrow. Let's see when he's gonna overtake him. Niklas has as well a 3-second time penalty, just in case saying. So yeah, it's good to have a car that turns. Panda overtakes Kostya on the start finish straight. Kostya knows that he doesn't have to fight this. Panda is going to be getting disqualified. I've said that for like the 3rd time or 4th even. That Panda is going to getting disqualified. Almost in the pits, front wing getting changed, so the damage that we can't see. Obviously, Alos getting a 3-second time penalty on a straight. Interesting. What was this? I was talking before. I was talking something before almost mad and allows to satisfy that. Now Sorrow getting attacked from Senna going to turn 6. Now they're going side by side into turn 7, and neither of them pulls off. Oh, Senna loses the rear. Oh, they lost massive amount of time because of that. I doubt that any of them has any damage. Going to turn 12, does Senna send it? No, he doesn't send it. Trippy new falls lap 125.715. Senna tries to find a move. Panda now 25.049. He is rapid. Senna getting a 3-second time penalty. And these are gonna be flying away like crazy. Trippy gets the move on Jakub. Going to turn 1, 2, and 3. But could Jakub get the revenge? Get a rematch? Trippy seems to be way too quick on a straight. And going to turn 4 and 5. Jakub tries to look for a move, but just can't seem to look for it. And we have a new race leader in this race, and it is way too Trippy in the Haas. His teammate down in P9, but the drivers ahead of him have 3-second time penalties. He would only benefit from bad fans. Although Jakub is still at the back of Trippy, trying to look for a move. Still trying to look for a move. Trippy goes a bit defensive going to turn 14. Yellow flags, that's Senna. Senna spun. Going to turn 10 and 11. Damaged front wing. Actually, no front wing. And he is going to send to the as a friend for Onmas Mad. Trippy seems to be having a very good car on the straight, because Jakub just can't seem to be gaining on him on the straight. I mean, neither of them are using ERS, and Trippy is just ever so slightly is pulling away. Bobcat getting another 3-second time penalty. That's now 6 seconds for the Mercedes. Senna retiring in the pits, so that's one of the rebels down, and two drivers down. So actually, Onmaspat doesn't have a friend. For his boredom. Jakub seems to be having a very good car in the corners. Jamie, meanwhile, a very rare mistake from Jamie. He rarely makes mistakes, and he now made a mistake, and he's now down P7 behind Kostya. No, he was behind Kostya, but behind Bobcat, and he has damaged his front wing. He has damaged his front wing, and he's gonna be going into the pits this lap. No, he's staying out. He's staying out. Maybe the track is drying up. Maybe he's trying to, you know, try and survive with this wing to the dry conditions. Maybe. We'll see. But Batfan getting another 3-second time penalty. That's now Popcast and Batfan having 3-second time penalties, and Onmaspat joins them with another 3-second time penalty. These penalties are going to be flying out here. It is so easy to just go ever so slightly over the white lines and just get your, if it's in qualifying, then your lap invalid. If it's in the race, or to get a warning. And especially in the wet, when it's when you are in less control of the car, it's just so easy to go over the white lines. But as well, if you're on the wets, then you're forced to go slower, which means you're going to be more precise. I mean, being on the wets, ooh, a little bit of a slide from Jamie. having huge troubles in these conditions. Yeah, like it's so easy to get the penalties, and like being on one of the either dry or wet track, then I mean both of those have some advantages and negatives in terms of just like track limits and how much are you being forced to go fast. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Perfect English, 100% good English. Like I'm not speaking already like I'm not speaking already 2 languages plus English. And I'm taking in school in Finland we have to take fucking Swedish. Anyways, Panda has caught up to Niklas, so that's a bit of interesting from Niklas. But Panda gets him on the switchback on the exit of the final corner. Though, yeah, he's pulling away. Panda is pulling away, so Panda up to P3. Virtually up to P2 now, since he's within the 3 seconds from Jakub. I feel like that there's less and less rain. The track is getting ever so slightly drier and drier. The drivers know better, obviously, but from the info that I have, which is basically my instincts and my time that I've been playing this game, I feel like it is ever so slightly drying up and there's less and less rain coming up. Like I can hardly see rain. Jamie made a mistake in turn 6. Really struggling with the traction, basically everywhere. I'm sorry but I'm just so sleepy. I mean, I had to wake up today at 4 AM. I mean, I can't help it, can I? And so basically I got like 5 hours of sleep. What can I do? I had to wake up at 4. As anyways, back to the race. It's getting a bit calmer as Trippy is pulling away from Jakub. Panda is gaining on Jakub. Panda is pulling away from Niklas. The 2 McLarens are going to be doing a swap soon, I'm assuming. Popcat isn't really catching up to Kostya, but Jamie can't really catch up to Popcat because of his wing and his mistakes. Batman can't really overtake Jamie anywhere. Berlin is stranded alone a little bit. Zara is even more. Alois is even more, and Onosmat is in the desert. But Jakub spun on the X of turn 11, and that is a full course safety car caused from the pole sitters crash. Very easy. That is as well a very easy mistake to do in these damp conditions. Losing the car on the exit of the S's. And now everyone is going to be going into the pits for the new Inters. Well, besides Panda. No, that is Kostya who is staying out. Is there anyone else who's staying out? Batman is staying out. Berlin is staying out. Jamie is going in. I mean, that makes sense to stay out because he's changing his front wing. Berlin gets a drive-through, speeding on a safety car, so that's basically his race done. Trippy just got ahead of Batfan, just ahead of Batfan. So Trippy has a bit of a barrier between himself and Panda. Yeah, so everyone else has pitted for the new tires. There's still a Matt who is still... We'll see if he's gonna pit. Jamie gets a 3-second time penalty on the safety car. Interesting. Matt stays out. So Kostya, Batvan and Berlin have stayed out with Ormasmad, but Ormasmad has made his pit stop, technically. So he could try to go until the end with those inters, but I doubt that they're gonna go until the end. Kostya, actually, you don't really have to go in to change off your inters, because there's nothing, because in the rules it says that, I mean, you don't have to pit on the inter slash wet conditions. Batman goes into pits now, which is a bit strange to go now, as you're gonna lose many places. You're gonna lose more like this than you would just pitting immediately, and you're not gonna really gain anything by pitting one lap later on the inters. I mean, seriously, I mean, you're not gonna really gain much. I mean, Batman just got ahead of Sorrow, but it's like, you're not gonna really gain much from one lap fresher inters. Unfortunately, you're not gonna gain much. Anyways, now it's Kostya and Berlin. What has happened with my voice? Yeah, it is Kostya and Berlin on the old inters. Let me just check the comments quickly. Yeah, I think I knew that. Yeah, before qualifying or before the race, I knew that it was gonna be a rainy race, but I just wanted to bring a slight bit of excitement for not telling what's gonna be the weather, even though most of the people can tell what's gonna be the weather. But those who aren't watching or aren't in the GPR server or are not in, doesn't have the GP2 roles, then they can't see what the GP2 drivers are talking about. I can, because I'm sort of reserving sometimes for GP2 when I'm bored, when I have nothing to do, and that's most of the time. And this time I just can't be asked to drive this game, so I decided to commentate a little bit. You know, commentate a little bit and to fall asleep out of my own desk while commentating, and then Batman and Jamie are with switching places. This is better, like, wake me up somehow. I don't know how, but somehow just wake me up, because I'm so tired, man. And it's only 10 in my times. I mean, it's just going to 10. Usually I just could go like quite a bit of a range. But yeah, I'm just so tired. Anyways, the 6th guy is gonna be in this lap. Actually, I don't know if it's gonna be dependent if Ormasmat catches up to the queue. Nope, it wasn't dependent on that. Ooh, Trippy hits the back of Kostya immediately. This could cause Trippy to have some sort of front wing damage, but Kostya is now controlling the pace, while the 6th guy is going to be in his lap. Let's see when the McLaren is going to go. Trippy is getting a little impatient at the moment. Batman getting 3 seconds on penalty under this circumstances. Kostya is going out now. So the race hasn't restarted, and you can overtake now on lap 17. How much does Kostya can keep up Trippy? Good English. Trippy on the outside, Kostya on the inside, and into turn 1. Trippy brakes later. Kostya tries to somewhat switch back him and get him again, but Trippy gets the P1. Kostya gets absolutely eaten off of turn 3. Lost 2 places at once. I could even lose even more places to his teammates and to Popcat. Going to turn 4 and 5. Now he's behind his teammates and Mercedes. Now he could be even behind Batfan in turn 6. Absolute of a nightmare of a restart for Kostya. Alous had a big moment at the back. Popcat 3-second time penalty again. Trippy is our new race leader, but for how much longer, since Panda at the back is pressurizing him. But I hope that Trippy knows that Panda is gonna be getting disqualified from this race. Kostya is even behind Batfan, and Nikla's getting a 3-second time penalty thing again. Yeah, that's 6 seconds. Berlin is now serving his drive-through. Panda is really trying to overtake Trippy for the race lead. Goes on the inside into turn 1 and tries to switch back now again, getting a better exit, but he doesn't. Trippy gets a better exit of turn 3 and going to turn 4. Trippy stays in the lead, although Popcat has gained a little bit on the leaders. Meanwhile, back, that was, I think, Sorrow or someone in the back. I don't know. But Panda is quick. He knows that he's quicker, but he just needs to know the place to overtake him. Maybe into turn 12 if he gets a really good run. Sorrow getting another his first 3-second time penalty. I feel like that's his first. Yeah, that's his first. Trippy defends the inside going into the stadium section. Popcat has caught up, as well as the pack behind him. Panda trying to get... No, he goes into the pits. I guess he's gonna retire in the pits. I don't know. It is still raining. Kostya in the pits. I don't know for what mediums. Mediums! It's still raining. It's still raining though. Although there's no spray, but I couldn't see spray at all in this race. Panda risking for the mediums. He knows that he's gonna be... He knows that he's gonna be disqualified, so he tries to risk it for the mediums. But it is still raining though. Bit of a weird call, and as well Kostya for the mediums. Let's see if it's gonna pay out for them. It's still raining. There are a lot of people now with their fuel on plus. Alous has spun in the S section. That's another Red Bull spun, and is this time Alous with a broken front wing. Almost has lost some time now on his teammate Jamie. But up front, are they pitting? No, Batman is pitting. Who else? Only Batman. There was a bit of contact between Nicholas and Bob. Popcat. Or yeah, it is Bobcat. Batman for the hearts. 16 laps to go. Could be. Could have gone on the menus, but we'll see. Allows into the pits. Well, obviously for the new wing. Up front, Niklas has no ERS left. The track is drying up, slowly but surely, but it is still raining. Are the drivers behind catching up? Batman getting another 3-second time penalty. Panda, is he catching to the leaders? It's like on the crossover though. It is on like really on the crossover. We'll see the best through the S sections, but at the moment, Trippy is now trying to fight Popcat for the lead. Panda overtakes the Batman into the turn 6. Trippy is really slowing down the pack. Is anyone gonna be going into the pits? Trippy stays out. Popcat stays out. Niklas stays out. Sarah stays out. Jamie stays out. Almas Matt stays out. There's still Berlin. He has as well nothing to lose basically. Is he gonna go? No, he stays out. He stays out. Up front, Trippy just has that straight line speed of a lightning. Just cannot be passed. On the corners, no, because there's just nothing to do against him. There's nowhere to really overtake him. And on the straights, he's way too quick on the straights to attack him. So it's perfect scenario for Trippy when he's quick enough in the corners so the drivers cannot overtake him. But as well on the straights, if they want to overtake him, they have to use a lot of ERS and pray as well that the track is gonna dry up enough as well. Panda isn't really catching up. It's 28 seconds, so yeah, that call was pretty I wouldn't say stupid, but just too early. Popcat, he's gonna be losing on the straights. Sorrow getting a new fast lap. The conditions are improving for the slick runners, but is it gonna improve enough? So the drivers are gonna be going for the inters. Berlin is pitting for the slicks. I'm guessing for the inters. For the mediums. No, for the inters. Back to the inters. An interesting choice. Trippy still staying in the lead. He knows what he needs to do. Block the insides for some of the corners. And just take it easy. And as well behind him, everyone behind him. Oh, Sarah and Jamie again a mistake in the almost the exact same place, and he's now lost a P4 to Zorro. Panda getting an interesting 10-second time penalty. Alright, does he look? Does he have a puncture or something? No, he's not. I have no idea. I guess he's gonna be retiring in the pits. Meanwhile up front, nothing really changing. Panda spun. Panda has spun in the stadium section and going into the pits. He's gonna retire. Yep, that's him gone. Kostya has already taken Batfan, going into turn 1. But those slick tires, they're still terrible for these conditions. Alois has spun on the exit of going to the last corner. Those slicks are just not great yet. It is still lightly raining, like very lightly raining. Popcat still trying to somewhat catch up to Trippy, maybe somewhere overtaken, but on the straight, Trippy is way too quick. And Jamie getting a fast lap. Berlin has already taken a Batfan earlier in the lap. Trippy is just way too quick on the straight. And then Bobcat just can't do really anything about it. And as well, Bobcat and Niklas, they have run out of VRS. Trippy has still somewhat amount of VRS. He still has about 20%, like about above 20% of VRS. Batman in the pits to change back to the Inters. A pretty Ferrari type of strategy to go on to go to the slicks. Tried something different. Maybe prayed that the rain would stop, but just didn't stop. Niklas and Bobcat are getting 3 seconds, and now Bobcat has 12 seconds. Niklas has 9. Well, Bobcat tried to send it into turn 14 like a map and Trippy off track. Bobcat really tries to get himself ahead of Trippy. Trippy maybe as well is trying to push a little bit too hard to keep that lead. He knows that Bobcat has 12 seconds, Niklas has 9 seconds, Sarah has 3 and Jamie has 3. So I mean, he doesn't really need to push that much or keep Bobcat behind. He just needs to keep Bobcat and Niklas like within his sight, and he's gonna be all good. And just be sure to be ahead of Sorrow and Jamie. Lap 25 out of 36, so still 11 laps to go. 10 cars to go. 10 cars to go, yeah, 10 cars to go. Berlin has everything in Kostya, absolutely the same strategy, or similar strategy to Batman, just a very Ferrari type of strategy. Well, unfortunately, he's in McLaren. Trippy. He even made that the same line when Bobcat wasn't even close to Trippy. Bobcat has lost a bit of time through the third sector. Maybe mistake somewhere. But now the gap is 1.2 seconds to Trippy. Can he get it back? Maybe in the corners, yes, but on the straights, no way, no way, absolutely no way. Through the first 3 corners, he got some of it back, but he immediately went back up to the same. Now through the third sector, he can gain the most in the second sector, and also third. 1.2. Up to 1.4 even, 1.5 even. Wow. 1.3, 1.2. Batman with a new false lap, 124.226. Bobcat isn't really catching up to Trippy actually. It allows getting another 3-second time penalty. On mass mat as well, another 3-second time penalty. Bobcat isn't really catching up to Trippy though. Now Niklas is actually pressurizing more Bobcat than Bobcat to Trippy. Could we see? Oh, Niklas doesn't even have ERS anymore. Neither does Bobcat ERS. Costa getting a 3-second time penalty. Well, for himself as well, the race is pretty much over. I mean, if he pits, he's gonna be behind Batfan with the Inters. At this point, the track is not gonna dry up. And I guess the best that he can hope for is P8 if he doesn't make any of these mistakes. Bobcat and Niklas are fighting for P2, which gives a perfect opportunity for Trippy to pull away. Niklas really trying to overtake Bobcat. But he makes a mistake in turn 9 when there's more contact between Niklas and Zaro. Niklas could have some damage to the front wing. But importantly now Zaro is up to P3 and Jamie up to P4. After Bobcat's penalty, Zaro could be getting a P2 and Jamie P3. Dependent obviously with the penalties. But with the gaps, could be that, well, if Berlin all of a sudden does again like 20 seconds, or actually 30 seconds, to like 28 seconds to the leader, then he would be in Bobcat's penalties, but I don't know, if Jamie would have been actually disqualified, it would actually look like Bobcat getting a P3, even though he has 12 seconds of penalties. That would be pretty crazy. Now, who is going to be getting the P2? Is it going to be Zaro or Jamie? These two, I don't know if they're going to fight, but they are very much close between each other. Under a second between each other in the section. Going into the stadium section, Jamie, well, that was way too close for comfort. Maybe even a slight bit of contact. Into turn 17, Jamie feels like that he's faster. Alonso has been already lapped, by the way, by 5 drivers. Yeah, still 5. Zaro and Jamie still the same positions. Lap 29 out of 36. Nothing has really changed. The track is not drying up. It is still slightly raining, which is enough for the inters but not enough for the slicks. Panda, was it Alost? I think it was Alost, Batfan, Kostya and Panda who made bad decisions on going for the slicks. Bobcat getting another 3-second time penalty. Jamie as well, another 3-second time penalty. Oh, so this now makes Zaro more comfortable in the P3. Now, since he knows that Jamie has 6 seconds, now he needs to not get another 3-second time penalty. That would be the most important thing for him at the moment, as well keeping up the pace. But more importantly, not getting any penalties and not getting too much pressurized from Jamie. If Jamie is gonna dive the inside, just let him be, let him go. I don't know if that's gonna really work. Alosa spun on the exit of turn 3. And again, hitting the wall. And almost getting lapped by Berlin. Up front, Jamie and Zaro. Still close between each other. Neither of them have much ERS. That was a little bit of a mistake from Zaro. Just is obviously not ideal. Just quickly check what, if anything, is happening in the GP2 chat, as Omnisplat has spun in the stadium section. Not like Berlin is gonna really catch up to him as much though. Jamie and Zaro, they're fighting for P3 at the top. Zaro still keeping that P3 into turn 4. Jamie's not really getting, but he sends it. A huge send from Jamie into turn 4, into turn 5. They're going side by side. Zaro on the outside does get a better exit. Jamie again on the inside. Does Zaro get a decent enough exit? Neither of them back out into turn 7. And Batman getting a false lap. And it is Jamie up into P3. A beautiful send from Jamie, actually. Like Daniel Ricciardo style, from absolutely nowhere where you don't expect it, to get that move right. And not overshooting the corner. And now being ahead of Zaro into the podium places. Although Niklas has caught up a little bit to them, but he has 9 seconds, so I guess doesn't matter as much, really. That's Kostya spun. I was looking at the phone, sorry. That's Kostya spun in turn 8 and 9. Does he have a front wing? Oh, well, I mean, for me at least it looks like, but he's down to P9, out of the range from Batman's 12 seconds. Yeah, I don't, if nothing else bad happens for Kostya, then he's gonna be getting P9. So he's gonna gain only 2 points on Sven and Solly. This is a prime time for Kostya to gain the points that he needed. The prime time to gain the points that he needed on Solly and Sven. But he threw it all away. Just everything down the drain. And only 2 points gained in this race. Up front, Jamie isn't really 3.6 seconds to gain on Masma to get within that 9-second time penalty. So maybe he could get a P6 after that drive-through. With about 4 laps to go, 3 laps to go, 4 laps to go. I don't know. I still could be that Berlin doesn't spin or doesn't get a penalty. He is gonna be getting that P6 easily. Niklas, although up front, is catching up to Zaro and sends it into turn 1 like Jamie did into turn 4 and Zaro. And does he stick it? Yes, he does. Which makes Niklas go up to P4. Costa getting another 3 second time penalty. But crucially for Zaro, just barely staying within Jamie's 3 seconds. Actually 6 seconds, but Zaro as well has 3 seconds, so I'm going to be saying 3 seconds. He's now out of it. Oh, Zaro's podium. Well, actually, no, if Jamie is going to be getting... It all depends if Jamie is going to be getting disqualified. If Jamie is going to get disqualified, then he's going to get a podium because Niklas 9 seconds. Even a P2 for Zaro, I mean. Wait, so it's gonna be at the moment provisionally with Trippy starting the penultimate lap of the race. Trippy in P1, Saro in P2, Nicholas in P4, then Popcat in P. Wait, Trippy in P1, Saro P2, Nicholas P3, Popcat P4. Then Berlin P5, almost at P6, Batvan P8, Kostya P9, and then Alos P10. P10. No, but I've P9. Wait, Trippy P1, Sorrow P2, Nicholas P3, Popcat P2, P4, Berlin P5, almost at P6, Batvan P7, Kostya P8, Alos 9th. Yeah, that's how it should go. If Jamie's gonna get disqualified, almost gets another 3 seconds time penalty. So even if New Berlin gets a 3 seconds, it doesn't matter because he's gonna be still within on Mastermat's 12 second time penalty. And even without that, probably he would have gained enough on Mastermat to get that done. Trippy starts the final lap of this race. A little bit of a chaotic one, but as well, it's had some boring moments. I mean, it was a wet race, so I mean, you can't really expect that much from this. Trippy having amazing pace, battling in P1 with Jakub. Batman getting another 3 second time penalty. Yeah, but Trippy having amazing setup, amazing pace, fighting with Jakub for the lead before he crashed out. And then when Popcat was fast, or was close to him, he was defending like a madman. On the straights, Popcat couldn't do really anything because Trippy was just so much quicker on the straights, and then in the corners, Popcat was faster, but Popcat didn't have anywhere to overtake him. He tried once in this corner that we're going to be going into turn 14. There are already fireworks, I guess, blown out. The final corner for Trippy, turn 17. And he makes a round of it, and Trippy crosses the line to win the Mexican Grand Prix here in Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City. Jamie finishes in P2, Saro finishes in P2, Jamie P3, Nicholas P4, Popcat P5, then New Berlin is going to be 6th, on Masmat P7, Batson P8, Kostya P9, and Lowe's in P10. If the standings stay like this, on Mastermat crossing the line in P6, but Berlin is gonna get the P6. Kostya is spinning already, actually doing donuts, I guess. Berlin now in P6, on Mastermat P7, Batvan P8, Kostya P9. I don't know if he's really actually doing donuts or just having a little bit of trouble. I don't know, maybe he's having as well a bit of fun. Actually, now I'm getting that that Jamie and Nicholas, they have run out of fuel. Sorry, is just in P2 with 56 thousands in. Jamie has run out of fuel, that I'm saying, or I'm getting in. Batman getting drafted there. I mean, to be honest, I would give it to either one of the horses, because Trippy just having an amazing pace. even with a little bit of damage front wing, it didn't even matter because he was up there, he fought, and he got the dub home to America. Haas's American brand, as well as Sarah as well, getting in a very nice race. And Nikas as well. Besides killing Soli, he had a very good race. But GP winning in Mexico. Soren P2, just about. Jamie P3, Niklas P4, Bobcat P5, New Berlin P6, Omasman P7, and Batman P8, Kostya P9, Alois P10, and then Alois runs off to P10, the top 10, and then Panda, Jakub, Senna, and Soli are the not finishers of this race. The race was fun. Getting well, it was a little bit boring, but as well there were some exciting parts of the race. I mean, it was rain the whole way, so there can't be that much of excitement when it's raining. But we got enough, and almost everyone had penalties besides Trippy and Berlin, so the Haas is staying out of penalties, anytime penalties, which is a very good thing for them. Very good thing. Like I said, next week is a week break from any league racing, I guess. Yeah, there's a 1 week break next week, so in 2 weeks time it's gonna be Kota. I doubt that I'm gonna commentate, but to you guys, I mean, next time when I'm gonna commentate, probably tomorrow. Well, there's a GPR, any GPR. I don't know honestly when I'm gonna commentate next time, but to you guys, in terms of GPR in 2 weeks time, but in terms of my next commentary then tomorrow. So